Hello guys, so welcome back to the channel. Just a little video today, just showing you an update to my shelving. These are all little stickers that my mate gave me down there, because I've got loads of empty shelves, as you can see, because I've been rearranging my movies, and here they are. So pretty much on the top here is generic films, if you like, sort of films from generic companies and films that are not necessarily my favourite, or horrors. So we've got like sort of like generic-y kind of films up there, a few Disneys and a few rom-coms, because I do like the odd rom-com, surprisingly enough. So yeah, I've got a few sort of generic-y ones up there, but this is my main core of movies now, and I've got loads of space still left down here, as you can see. But that's great, that's exactly what I wanted. This used to be full of CDs, which I've now sort of boxed up into sort of boxes and stuff, and sort of like put all my favourites. I've still got some of my favourites up the end here. This section there right at the end, that's all my Gary Newman DVDs, and all that is my Gary Newman CDs. So I've kept all them there because they're my favourites. But yeah, I've separated them from A to Z, as it sort of goes from there and goes across. And these are all pretty much, there are a few imprint companies in here, like 101 Films and Eureka, because I don't have many sort of films in those collections, and things like Studio Canal. I mean, at one point I would like to sort of separate them, but I've just sort of like put these all kind of A to Z and sort of spread them out. So I've got plenty of room for, if I get any more films, you see, I can sort of like shuffle these around. I've got some good sort of space, and even then, when if it starts to get full up, I can spread it down to these further shelves down here. So I've got all my sort of, I'd say generic companies, but they are, a lot of them are sort of generic kind of companies. But like I said, there will be a few in there, because this one I've just seen needs to come out. This needs to go into my 88 film sort of section. Just give me a second, guy, while I move that over. Which I'm trying to do right here. There we go. That's it. Sorry about that. Yeah, so these are my kind of companies that are sort of like normal, sort of, you know, like generic releases and things like that. But I've left myself plenty of space to move along. So then I've separated some of my imprint companies. Like up here, I have the premium collection up there, and then it goes into a double collection. I've got two companies together here, BFI and Indicator, simply because their releases are quite similar, and I thought, well, they would go quite well together. And they're more sort of art house films. They're not all sort of horrors. There are a few in here, but these are mainly sort of like art house films and stuff. This whole collection along this whole rack here is, I'd say, 90 to 95% horror and 5% sort of like other sort of films like westerns, film noir and stuff like that. And then I've got my second sight collections here, sort of all in some form of alphabetical order. Now there are films missing, guys. Like you might say, Geoff, where's your The Witch? Where's Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Where's your Wicker Man? They're all in my display cabinet because they're my special editions. Some of them, yeah, like I've got some collectors in here, like It Follows and stuff. But some of them are so special to me that I want to keep them in my display cabinet. Especially my Witch one, now it's signed. So that's why if you see, oh, I thought you had that film, I'm sure you had that. Where's Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Yeah, it's in my display cabinet. Obviously I can't fit all my collector editions into display cabinet. Anyway, going down from second sight, we have Shameless down here on one shelf. I've not got a huge Shameless collection. I am trying to get more. Yes, this is on Cult Film, the Dario Argento, but that is owned by Shameless. So that's my little Shameless collection. And then I've just got a few box sets there because they're too big to fit in with my Arrow set. So I've put them there separately. And in my Arrow starts here at the bottom with A. But along the bottom here, I've got my collector box sets from Arrow, which are all in protective cases. So they're all down there. That's why they are slightly separate from the rest. It's just because they are the collector ones and they're in the protective casing. Sorry guys, just moving stuff around as I'm having to sort out. Yeah, and with the protective casing on a normal sort of shelf, it doesn't fit in. But when there's a bottom shelf with more space, they do. So yes, I've got my Arrow films, all sort of A to Z. Again guys, I don't have a complete collection. I'm not a completist. I just buy the films I like, and that's it. So don't think, oh well, you know, you haven't got much of an Arrow collection, but I do, because it's mine, because all these films mean something to me. I'm not doing it to impress anyone. I don't feel the need to collect every single Arrow film, because not all of them I want or like. But yeah, the ones I got, I love. Yeah, no, that's my regular pieces there. My collector's edition is in my down the bottom shelf. I was going to put the Psycho one in there, but I've just ended up putting it there. So that goes right down to A to Z. And yeah, so that's my collector's edition of pieces in its protective case, protecting it for me because I love it so much. Right, put that away, and then up on here I start with my 88 films. No, that's still Arrow, sorry guys. This is my 88 film shelf here, starts with A there. Again, I don't have a huge 88 film collection, but the ones I have are the ones I want. That's the important thing. I've got quite a few of these slasher films. I was going to separate them, but I thought no, I'll just do A to Z because it's on Arrow, not Arrow 88 film. So that's my collection of 88 films, with plenty of space to upgrade with more films in it. Down here is some films that I've recently sort of purchased over the last 12 months, these that I haven't got around to watching yet, so I've put them there. When I've watched these, they'll probably go up on the top. They're just there to remind myself to look at those. And then I go through to my 4Ks. Now these are mostly generic ones because most of my 4Ks are filed in the horror section. There might be still one or two here that are not filed in the horror but should be. But yeah, I've got my 4K films. Again, I don't have a massive collection of 4K, and that is simply because, not just because of the pricing, but because I don't feel the need to just buy 4K editions, you know. I don't feel the need to. I only buy them if it's something special or it's at a good price, you know. But yeah, I have a few 4Ks. I mean, I've got Jigsaw there, I can move over to the horror. War of the Worlds, I can move over to the horror. Sleepy Hollow. And right down the bottom shelf, it's just a shelf of random DVDs. Again, nothing spectacular, but it's just random. Because I've got 8 shelves full of DVDs over the other side of the room. But those ones are just there because I thought, oh, I'll put those there just to fill that shelf up. And like I said, up here is my my Gary Newman sort of CDs and his DVDs. And again, there's some more Gary Newman CDs and that underneath. So yeah, that's as far as I've got at the moment with my shelving, which I think looks better because I've spread it out more, and it just gives my horror collection gives me something to look forward to doing, like filing my new movies. I've just picked all my pickups that I bought over the last few weeks are sitting here in a pile, which I've got to put in there and file them. See, here's the other problem. I had a watch pile, which was about over 100 movies, and I've put them all in here, and now I've forgotten what I've watched and what I haven't. Oh, that's crazy, right? But yeah, I hope you think that looks pretty cool. Well, I do anyway. Cheers, guys.